we got a referral to do an exorcism, and me and my companion were like, "Can we even do that? Like, I guess we'll just like give her a blessing or something." We didn't even know. My companion was a new missionary, and so we were just like, "Let's see what happens." We ended up visiting her on Christmas Eve, and she was very accepting, super nice, and I mean, we imagined the worst, like head on backwards and stuff, but that wasn't the case. Honestly, immediately we walked into the house, you could kind of feel like a different spirit. The house was really dirty. We taught her the restoration, and then we talked about priesthood authority, and we offered to give her a blessing. She mentioned to us, I guess what happened, she'd woken up with like a bunch of like bruises and bites all over her. I think they were just bruises, were all over her. And several years before, she'd thrown up like dirt, blood, and slivers of wood in the shape of a skull. I don't know. And we were like, well, what do you think causes this? And she's like, well, I play the Ouija board, but I don't think it's that. It's probably that, sister. You should probably stop. And she was like, all right, I'll stop playing that. I also listen to like satanic rock. Should I stop listening to that? We're like, yeah, it'd probably be for the best. And we also invited her to like clean the house. We offered to help clean, and we ended up giving her a blessing. But the first time when we visited her, her husband was there kind of cleaning up, and we invited him to come in and join us. And he's like, no, I'm good. And his wife, she said, no, he's not interested in religious things at all. So she ended up going to church the next day, Christmas Day. She went to church and she absolutely loved it. And then, I mean, her desires just right away, just like her life was able to change. She told us every Christmas she would drink and just drink a lot because I think her child had died that day a few years back. And she said she's happier than she'd ever been, and she was able to change a lot. Her and her daughter ended up getting baptized. But every time that we went back and her husband was there, we would invite him to join us. And every time he'd be like, no, thanks. So he was a really nice guy. And after she got baptized, we went to visit her and her family, and her husband was sitting there. We're like, how's it going? And he's like, I want to listen to you guys. And we're like, really? Why the change? And he said it was because of the major change they had seen in his wife. And that really helped me to realize that Heavenly Father will help us as well to teach these and baptize these entire families. And he did end up making major changes, getting baptized, and the family really grew together a lot through the gospel.